we go. Let's see what I've got here. All right. There we go. There we go. Hey everyone. Time for another live vlog. If anybody's watching or interested. I've moved positions today. I'm in our bar, and because I wanted to show off some of the stuff we got in Wyoming a few weeks ago. Still haven't got the pictures up yet. You're right, but we found this place called. It's so cool. Actually, there were just tons of cool shops in Jackson. We were in Jackson, Wyoming when we weren't in most of the time when we were not in Yellowstone. Great town, by the way. I really liked it. They had really good COVID processes. Everybody in town, I mean every business in town had free hand sanitizer and free masks at the door, which was very cool. And like the regular kind of blue masks that you know see at the pharmacy or whatever. So that was cool because and they were very strict on enforcement. You could not go into a building, commercial building at all. At least none of the many that we went into. You couldn't go into anything without protection, and most of them even asked you to. Many of them actually asked you to use the hand sanitizer before you went in. So that was cool, and we didn't get any corona on the trip. We were there for 9 days, and so they were doing good, and we managed to survive the airplane ride as well. And we also went to. We actually got to go to live theater, which was fantastic. We found this place that was doing dinner and a show, and we thought that it was, you know, interactive or kind of a modest scale live show where you would eat dinner and the show would go on during dinner, and maybe it was some sort of a, you know, a mystery or whatever that was a kind of a interactive, but it was not. It was great because the way they did it was they had full dinner, which was really good. The food was actually quite good. It was all in this little kind of a Western style, an old Western style, maybe 1890s or so, 1920s saloon kind of thing. So it was all decorated like that. And during dinner they had singers, musicians who would play for you. The food was good, the staff was amazing, and we had a good time. And then afterwards, we actually went into, adjourned to a real full-on live theater with you know, seats and stage and lights and everything. So that was great. They again were very careful. They had their, you were seated, I don't know, 2 or 3 seats between each family group. And then I think they had 2 rows blocked off between rows rather than just one. So they were also quite serious about everybody being careful and you know, not spreading anything. And the show was great. It was called, what was it called? Do you know what it was called? Can't remember what it was called. Anyway, it was hilarious. It was kind of a comedic play about the Old West and a woman who had inherited some land, and everybody was shooting everybody else. And there was this giant brawl, and so it was really good. And apparently was written by the director of the theater, so that was even cooler. So you know, yeah, I Instagrammed and posted about it. Some of you may have seen it. I just wanted to show that, given the proper circumstances, we could certainly be doing things like live theater, movie theater, live music, stuff like that. It's just because our, I mean, basically, it's because our leadership doesn't believe that we will behave, or that the business owners will behave. That was the thing, was that um, it really requires a dedication from the business owners to uh, enforce the rules. I mean, we know people are going to be bad, and that's, whatever. People are people, and so they're not going to want to follow the rules. So it's up to the professionals to enforce the rules, and that's what these guys did. I mean, like I said, there was there was no question. Never saw anybody in a business that was not masked up. And I never actually saw, the good thing was, because they had created such an environment, that the city was behind it, and the city had passed ordinances to require masks and all this kind of stuff, and there was a lot of great signage, funny signage too. They weren't always just like, put your mask on, you're going to die. There was like signs of bears with masks and mooses with masks and things like that. So they made it, they made it humorous as well. And but really it was the standard. It was like, you wear shoes into the store, can't go in barefoot, everybody knows that and nobody complains about it. And you wear masks and everybody knows it and nobody complains about it. And they even have to do with tourists. I mean, the whole place is, it's as easily as touristy as South Beach. So and maybe more. I just felt like the whole city was one giant tourist trap. Not in a bad way, in a really fun way. I mean, because they were all doing it in old Western style. So anyway, it was a lot of fun and very safe, and we felt very welcome there. People were fabulous. I don't know what they did, if they just had some special training or whatever, but all of the staff at all the places was really friendly and really nice, and so that was really cool. Anyway, so we found this one place called Spirits and Spice, and this was one of the coolest stores. I don't even know how they stayed in business, well, except that everybody in there was buying stuff. But it was such a unique, I've never seen a store like this, and it was, I believe it was all what do I want to say, directly imported or directly obtained spirits of all different types, with vodka, lots of whiskey, some tequilas, things like that, and by this company. And but as far as I could tell, they carried brands that you couldn't otherwise get in America. They carried very, very small brands that may or may not even be selling retail anywhere else. Perhaps this was their only retail wholesale account. So it was very cool, because you found a lot of stuff that you couldn't find anywhere. And they had spices. They had regular dry spices of different types. And I think maybe, well, I don't know if they bottled them or if they had the same kind of thing where they were pretty exclusive. And they were so exclusive that a lot of their, I'll show you these, a lot of their, let's see if I can get up here, a lot of their bottling looked like this. A lot of the bottles, and this was their personal brand of bottle, I guess, and then the name of the thing was just written on the front in the white marker. So here's the smaller version. And I'm not really sure what the situation was, why they would be bottling. These were not creations that they had made. These were creations that they had gotten from somewhere. For example, this one, I just showed you the big one, is called Libertine Absinthe. And it is a product of France, and imported and bottled by Yahara Bay Distillers. That was not the name of the place. So I guess that the liquor comes over possibly in barrels or whatever. They bottle it here in America, but it was all sorts of stuff. And they didn't carry any of the normal brands. They did carry some pre-bottled liquor, like this one here. We got, and this was local, so I wanted a Wyoming whiskey, because apparently Wyoming has a lot of whiskeys. So this is Arcola, and it's backwards, great. Anyway, this is Arcola whiskey. Wyoming Spirit. But I mean, you look at this. This is barrel number 24 of well, I don't know, barrel 20, bottle number. Well, this is 24 of 159. I guess that's probably the number of bottles that they have is 159 bottles of this. That's it, of this particular bottling, and then they sell it here at this place, and it's not something that's commonly available. Let's see, handmade in the bygone town of Arcola, Wyoming, former railroad whistle stop. So this is, very, very small batch. Probably couldn't get it almost anywhere else, maybe online. Premium whiskey distilled from bourbon mash. So, and it's really good, obviously. That was the other thing was about this one place was everything was tasteable. They had some wines too. They had some of their, again, their kind of premium small batch wines you could taste. They had some less exclusive wines. Those you couldn't taste because, you should know what they taste like, I guess. But even then, they were all, very quality picked. And even at that, they weren't, like a lot of this stuff was not cheap, but they did have some wines that were 25 to 30 a bottle, although they also had wines that were quite expensive. So that's absinthe. So everything you could taste, that was the cool thing, and they had it all decanted already. So if you wanted to taste, they had, you could just go where they helped you. They were super. The staff was super amazing, and usually I don't like a intrusive staff, but the space was so unusual that you kind of needed somebody to guide you around, and they had to be the ones to pour the tastings too, some law or something, I'm sure, so you wouldn't chug it down, stick your head into there, as I'm sure somebody has tried. So they had those little tiny cups, and you could just go around and taste as much as you wanted, whatever you want. I mean, as many as you wanted, whatever you wanted. They never turned anybody down for tasting. Although I didn't see anybody that was, blotto. Everybody was cool about it. So we tasted quite a few things actually, because they had so many unique flavors. And for example, absinthe. Now we've had a lot of absinthe, but I would say this is probably the best absinthe I've ever had. Don't ask me if it has wormwood in it. I didn't ask. I don't want to know. But it is bottled in France, so there you go. So we also got this one. This one is, I can't even remember what it was. It's a this is also a product of France. This is a ginger liqueur. And it's funny, that's all they write on is ginger liqueur. This is also a product of France and imported by Yahara. This is this is 72% alcohol, which is 144 proof. So it's serious. This is only 35% or 70 proof, which is still actually quite strong for a flavored liqueur like that. Most of those tend to be, I don't know, probably. I mean, a decent vodka is about 80 proof. So most liqueurs tend to be about 30 or 40 proof. So that one's pretty good. And it's they're really amazing flavors. Nothing like you'd ever tasted. We did taste a few tequilas. We ended up not buying a tequila because we'd already gone well over budget, but we got lucky. So they accidentally sent us the wrong box the first time. We had it mailed, thank God. And the way they do it, which is super smart, is that they will ship it to you if you order over whatever, some minimum amount, which was very easy to hit, for free. They ship it to you for free. And because we had been looking at this stuff, and we're like, how are we going to get full bottles of liquor home? On the plane, we're already basically overweight on our bags because we were there for 9 days. And we had limited bags, and a bottle of liquor. These are heavy glass, and you know, it doesn't weigh. It weighs quite a few pounds. So this is so we had them ship it to us, and then it finally showed up a week or so later, and faster than we expected actually. And here we were surprised to pull out 3 bottles of this Terra Noble 100% agave tequila, which we had not ordered. Now everybody who knows Annette knows that Annette is a huge tequila fan, and so she was excited. And it took us a second to realize we didn't actually order any tequila, although we probably should have, but we can always order online now. So they had sent us the wrong order and had sent somebody else our order, and they were kind enough when we checked with them and called them back. They just said, no, go ahead and keep the tequila. We'll send you the right stuff out, right away. So that was great. So we got quite a lot of, in terms of money wise, we got 3 bottles of free tequila, which normally I think this stuff goes for about 50 cents a bottle. Really good tequila, Terra Noble. I don't know if you can get it anywhere. It's Hecho in Mexico, produced and bottled in Mexico by Premium de Jalisco. Anyways, really good. Imported by Misa. Imports, Dallas, Texas. So that was cool. Got a little free tequila. And then, like I said, we ordered some whiskey, which I'm going to have. I wonder if drinking on camera violates some Yahoo rules. So I guess we'll see whether or not they shut us off. But anyway, it's about time for me to shut up as it is. So if I get shut down, you guys will know why. Oh, here's the deal. You can't pour out of these lids, which all of my bartender friends know. So we bought this. It's cute. I'll show it to you. Let's see, can you see? It's a little kitty pourer. Got a little thing. You stick this in the bottle, and then it pours just nice. And I don't normally drink whiskey neat. This is a really light whiskey, you'll notice. It's awesome. It doesn't have a lot of burn. Beautiful smell. And I don't usually drink whiskey neat. I like it on ice. But this is so good. I kind of feel bad putting it on ice, so I do just sip this. And this is sipping whiskey. Hi, Janine. This is sipping whiskey. Don't chug it. Just give it a little sip. Don't mix it with Coke or anything, or I might have to smack you. It's really good though. And I don't always drink whiskey. Like I said, I wanted this stuff because it was local. It was kind of tradition. Apparently, whiskey is very popular in Wyoming, so it's kind of a Wyoming style drink. It was one of the things that was funny was that many of the hand sanitizers that we use were scented as like whiskey. So that was kind of funny because you walk around smelling like you were drinking all day as you wiped your hands every time you went into a store. But I drink whiskey when I'm kind of in a grumpy mood, but isn't that rare? Normally I'm a vodka kind of guy, but this is great whiskey. So it's what is it? Arcola whiskey, actually bottled in Arcola, Wyoming. I recommend it, and I recommend a trip to Wyoming if you haven't been. Be wary, where you stay. It is that Midwest Western kind of place, so make sure that you bring your cowboy boots and your cowboy hat, and but if you stay in, I think if you stay in the tourist areas like Jackson, everybody will have a great time. Like I said, Jackson was just fantastic, we need to get their trainers down here to help train our customer service people. And of course, Yellowstone is amazing. We just rewatched 2012 the other night, so it's kind of funny to talk about, the fact that a good proportion of Yellowstone, is a giant super volcano caldera. But I don't think I think the last time it erupted was 640,000 years ago, maybe 165,000. Somebody will know. Anyway, it was a long time. Well, it was a while. It wasn't really a long time, but it was a while. And apparently, it's still active. So, which is how you get all the fun stuff up there in Yellowstone. Anyway, that's it for today, and be back to. Oh, I did have a little bit of good news for those of you who stayed at the end. I spoke to you guys. Know we're working on this thing for Art Basel, Miami Art Week. Sorry, I keep stealing somebody else's copyright. Miami Art Week, and as I mentioned before, I want to do this in David worked in Yellowstone. That's awesome. I want to do this in the Miami Beach Convention Center, so that it's kind of not really a replacement, but a spiritual reminder of the fact that it's Miami Art Week, and it's still kind of in the same space where people know to go, and so there's something there to do. And like I said, I'd reached out to them, and they sent me over to the city to talk about seeing if they could offer the space free of charge to us. And I got an email back from the woman at the city today, after I had to kind of search around a little bit. And, well, I didn't really search around, I was directed around as usual. And she asked for a proposal, so I am very excited about that, because, they could have just said, "Oh no, we're not going to do that this year," or something, or they could have said, "Oh, 12 people already reached out to us," or whatever, right? There could have been any number of excuses why we couldn't do it. We knew that technically it was probably unused because it's only been 2 weeks since the announcement that Art Basel was not coming, so surely it's not used, but. You never know what's going to be what. So we have our first planning meeting with our collaborators tomorrow tomorrow evening. We'll have probably much more information after that, and I'm going to put together that proposal and get over to them next week after we have our meeting tomorrow, and hopefully we'll hear something big. So. That could be really cool. Well, obviously, we don't get it totally for free. We still need to pay for things like trash pickup and cleaning and all that kind of stuff, which is perfectly okay, as long as we find the funders, which I think we will. And I also have a call with the GMCVB in the morning, who I love working with. We've been a member for years, and they're great. They're the ones they're the convention bureau, visitors bureau for all of Miami-Dade, and their job is to technically help bring tourists, but they've also really taken on the job of helping to improve the quality of life for our locals, which is awesome. So anyway, I've gone over now by quite a bit, and I'm looking over here because that's where my clock is, and just wanted to say I love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh wait, tomorrow, that's a good point. Tomorrow our meeting starts at 5, so I won't be on at 5. I'll come on later, and I'll put a note on my Facebook when I come on. So probably not till like 8 or so. I'll come on after the meeting and give you an update. And that's it. See you then.